Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Hubler Automotive Group Coach's Corner. Today, I'm your host, Reese Byerly, and I'm joined with a new, maybe improved, no one knows, Chase Sanger. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Love to be here.
Good to have you. And then today we are joined with the Franklin boys head basketball coach in his first season, Coach Adrian Moss.
Boys doing? Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on. So the first question, let's just hop right straight into it. This year you guys have started off slow, 4-10, but this season is nowhere near over. You guys have big goals, want to win county, want to win sectionals. Obviously, county didn't happen. How are you guys just preparing to do the best you can and win the sectional? You guys have a very good chance to do that.
I think that's a good way to describe it. As of now, we are enjoying the moment every game. We're enjoying the process. We didn't win county, and conference is still there a little bit, but we're still going to be placed in conference somewhere. So right now our goal is to focus on sectional and to be playing the best basketball we can play when sectional time comes around. I think that we've gotten better. We're improving every day. We're putting in the work to be good, and we just need that to translate, from practice to the games, which I think if you keep working, that'll happen.
So last game against New Pal was a close one. It was a great game. Sam Auger with 27 points. Did you know that was going to happen? Or was it just out of the blue?
Well, that's what we see in practice from Sam. We've seen all week long. He literally went, I think Wednesday, he missed one or two shots the entire practice. We've seen that from other guys too. So it's just kind of piggybacking off of what I just said. It's just Sam in particular, he has not played since his freshman year. So I think he's getting his legs under him. He's really starting to get in a rhythm. It takes time to produce on the court. It takes time to be a unit on the court. It takes time to be a good individual player, as you guys know. It doesn't just happen overnight. So I think Sam in particular, those things we saw in practice, and it's now starting to translate to the game.
Definitely.
You guys have a young team, but an experienced team. Obviously, 5 seniors, and then you guys have a young coaching core, bunch of young sophomores that play. How are you guys trying to find the right mix of experience, but also young talent for the future years, but also winning now? How are you guys finding that mix?
Okay, our whole dynamic is interesting, because we have 2 seniors that have played all 4 years, and then we have 3 seniors that haven't. So those 3 seniors are very talented, but in experience, they are sophomores or juniors because they just haven't had that experience on the court. Maybe even some of them as freshmen, their first experience ever on a basketball court. And then we got 2 seniors that have played a lot of basketball. Like you said, we got some young guys who are pretty talented, but they're also young, so it's a new experience for them. And our whole group has never played together, so that's another dynamic that we're fighting against other programs. But we've I'm the type of coach that if you play well in practice, you'll get your opportunity. So we've experienced different things. We've played around with different lineups. We've started sophomores, we've started seniors, we've rolled with different guys in different games to give guys chances. In my first year, I really wanted to establish that culture that if you practice hard and you bring it, you're going to get your chance. And then our seniors are just doing a great job of setting the standard for our juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. And I'm just talking about from a leadership standpoint. They show up every day. They work hard. Carson and Thomas and Sam are our leaders. Those are the 3 guys that they bring it every day. They're team guys. They don't have egos. They just want to win, and that is going to trickle down to our juniors and our sophomores and freshmen. And I'm so happy with all of our seniors, but in particular those 3 guys have from day one they've brought it with positive attitudes and ready to go. And then Tristan and EJ, they've came along big time. Tristan's never played before. He's been a biggest team guy there is, and then EJ's super talented, and you can see he's getting better game by game by game. So our senior core has they've been a good group to coach, and I think it was a good group for our juniors and sophomores and freshmen to look up to and see how those guys operate.
Speaking of Tristan, recent commitment, how much credit do you take for that?
That's Coach Smith. Coach Smith set him up with that. With a junior college. I think it's an awesome chance for Tristan. I think he's also going to be able to play with the girls volleyball team a little bit on the side in case something opens up volleyball-wise. And I think it's an awesome opportunity. But I got to give that one to Coach Smith.
What about development-wise, developing him to really love the game. You think a lot of that's from you?
Yeah, I think we've spent some time with Tristan. I think Tristan has a lot of natural talent and ability as well.
Definitely.
But I think some of the things that we work on, we put in a lot of skills training work. Our coaches do a lot of that as well. So I think just as a group, we've helped them develop, and more so off the court. More so, making sure grades are right, making sure all that stuff is on track, because that comes with it too. And I'm really proud of Tristan.
This year you guys have been in so many close games, and most of them you guys just fall short, and that's obviously unfortunate, not the way you guys want it to go. But you guys have been in so many close games, and that's got to be like teaching moments for your young and experienced players. Like you said, you've had some seniors that haven't played in a while. Going into sectionals, there's going to be a lot of close games, regionals, so on and so forth. How are you guys planning on, those little games where you're down maybe 2 points at the end of the third, and then you'll fall by 8 or 10 points? How are you guys going to hopefully fix that for
well, we play a tough schedule, first off. We play a lot of good teams, especially this particular year. Every team that we've played is above 500, I think, except 2 teams. Out of 14 games, there's 12 teams above 500. So we're playing really good teams and really good experienced teams. So we've shown that we can play with the best, and now we have to come together and we got to figure out those moments. That's from our standpoint as a coaching staff. That's from the players on the court. That's from film sessions to practice to all that good stuff. We spend hours and hours and hours trying to get that figured out. So I think we're getting closer. Game by game, we're getting closer, and I think a lot of it is actually doing it, making it happen. We actually win a game. That builds confidence. Next time you get in that situation, you have the confidence to get through that situation. So my hope is that all of this, this year comes together and results in, a sectional championship or some type of win streak that we get on.
Yeah, like Reese said and like you said, sectional's pretty big deal. I mean, that's the goal for everybody. But obviously regular season games matter. So like coming into this final stretch, some tough teams. You got Warren, Plainfield, Perry, Southport, both Columbuses, and Jennings County, who's 10-4. They're pretty good. What's your game plan coming into those tough games?
I think it's the same as it's been. Obviously, the lineups have changed a little bit. We've altered our offense a little bit. Try to figure that side of it off. We always try to improve every week if we got to add something or change this. But I think it's the same game plan. You work hard. You trust the process. You get in those games and you try not to repeat the same mistakes. We watch a lot of film, so you gotta. When it comes to that, like the players have to do that on the court. When we watch film, we can't go out there and do that. So we're expecting them at some point in time to look at that and say, hey, I'm not going to do this time. We're not going to make these same mistakes, or whatever it is, whatever the situation is, we don't want to repeat the same mistakes. And that's from our end too. So if I see ourselves and we do something as a coaching staff down the stretch that caused us to lose or caused the game to change, we try not to repeat those same mistakes. And it's and even if you do something different, it might not work out for you. So that's just how the game works. You got to just stay confident, you got to work hard, and you got to let the chips fall where they do.
It's a very long season for basketball. You guys play a lot of games, go practice every day. How do you make sure that your players are always mentally prepared and obviously physically prepared? 3-month season, practicing, playing every day, bodies tear down, bodies get sore. How do you make sure that you guys are always ready to practice and obviously play games at the peak you can be at that day?
Well, we try to do that. Like yesterday, we took not yesterday, but we took Monday off. And coming off of 2 losses, that's not a normal thing, but it's important. Not only physically but mentally. Players have to have a mental break. They have to have time to do their thing. That's why we don't start practice sometimes till 3:30. Let guys just rewind from school, rewind from the day socially or whatever's going on, and get focused on basketball. It's not always easy as a high school kid, but I was also a high school kid, and you just got to think back to when you're in high school and you have days where you don't feel like practicing. You can say you do, but no one feels like practicing every single day. No one feels like going out there and grinding every single day. And so as a coaching staff, I think we have to kind of have a gauge on that. We have to kind of see like, okay, guys are a little down today. They're not, we didn't get much out of them. Let's take a day off. Let's back off a little bit. And just I've had a lot of experience. I've been in situations before that our kids haven't, and so just sharing our experience with them and trying to get them through it, I think it helps out a lot.
kind of a bit of a strange question. So obviously, Coach Brad Dickey was the coach last year. His playing style was a bit slow, hold the ball at times, So how much of a kind of, maybe not a struggle, but like a change was it for the players to go from such a slow pace to a fast pace, kind of playing one-on-one basketball, being able to show their moves, which they weren't normally allowed to do. How much of a change has that been?
It's a big change. I mean, it's a huge change for everybody. And then on top of that, just a new coaching change, period. Whether you're going from that to that, whatever it is, you're playing different players. There's different relationships. You're playing a different style. You're running different sets. Like everything changes, when you make a coaching change. But when it's that drastic on the playing side, it makes it a little difficult. So we play motion. We're predicated on movement, not only body movement but ball movement as well. And if someone does go one-on-one, the guys around them should be making some type of action. And then we run a lot of quick sets. We run quick hitters, quick sets that also put you in situations to make plays. We don't. If in the play, if you see something, you're allowed as a player to go away from that and go make a play. So it's just getting used to. I thought Brad did a really good job in what he did. He won a lot of games, and it's just two different styles. Not to say either one is correct, but it's just going from some flex to that style of play and to motion and playing a little bit more freely, playing faster. You got to change your mentality a little bit. You got to change your style of play. And I think it's harder for the guys that have played that way for several years to adapt. But that it's gonna happen over time. So.
Yep.
You guys have a sophomore in Micah Davis who already has a couple Division I offers. And that's rare. As a sophomore to have multiple Division I offers, that's just not common. What does he kind of do for your guys' team?
Micah he's played a lot of basketball. He plays basketball. He plays AAU in the summer times. He trains hard. He works in the off season. He's a true basketball guy. He's dedicated to the game. So Micah, he's young, but he can do some things physically that a lot of guys can't do. He plays above the rim. He's left-handed. He can shoot it a little bit. He can pass it a little bit. Like, he can do a little bit of everything. So anything on the court that you need, Micah can kind of fill in somewhere in there. Just overall, he's a basketball guy. He's a good athlete. He's getting better and better every game. Every game, every practice, he's improving, and that's what we expect out of him.
You've been around basketball your whole entire life. Been through many different experiences, scenarios. What has got to be one of the coolest and most fun things that you've ever done, not only either as a coach, as a player, as a mentor, as a trainer? What's one of the coolest things you've ever done?
I would say winning a sectional at Franklin was a huge deal for us. I mean, we started off the season 2-6. We beat 3 teams that beat us in the regular season, which we were not expected to win that sectional. I mean, you had Devin Dumas, who went to IU from Decatur. You had Center Grove, Tyler Kitchell, whose dad played the NBA. I think they won the MIC that year. You had Jawan Johnson, who was, eventual Big Ten Player of the Year. John Ashworth went Division I. We were not expected to win that sectional, and we shocked everybody, So that just was being from Franklin and winning a championship and then going to play at Hinkle Fieldhouse in front of the whole town showed up. That was a huge, huge moment in my life. And I played against Jeff Teague that game, and I think that showed me personally, that because we didn't always get a chance to play all the big teams in the city. So it showed me personally that I was ready for that, that next level. And then just to have that Franklin on your chest and to win and see all those people out there, that was a huge moment for me. I think the other 2 moments would probably be taking UND to the NCAA tournament back-to-back years. And my goal personally was to be an All-American. And I was an All-American at UND. And then winning a national championship in Canada was a huge deal. I mean, I got a big old ring, and I think we went 40-6 or something that year. I played with a former NBA player, and Rodney Buford. That was an awesome experience, winning a national championship. So those 3 moments as a player were huge for me.
Coach Moss, thank you for joining us today. You're obviously a great coach. You're a great player, great man. Thank you for joining us, and best luck to you guys on the rest of the season.
Can't wait to see what's to come.
Thanks, man. You guys did a very good job today.
And that was another episode of Hubler Automotive Group Coach's Corner.
Hubler is proud to be the official sponsor of Franklin Athletics. Score massive savings on all your favorite brands. Plus, get our 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty included. For all auto needs, just click drivehubler.com. Let's go Grizzly Cubs!